What's going on, people? What's going on, people?
Greetings, thank you for listening.
So we're doing it, man. It's 9 o'clock at night. Just chilling in the studio.
Hey.
94 Feet War. Still talking about NBA. Still talking about tricks. Still talking about what's going on. What affects us, NBA fans. And
talking about life.
And just kind of noticed, you know, there's been a bit of a shift in just the way players are perceived in the NBA now. It is, you know, obviously the CBA bargaining, players getting bigger contracts. You know, are the athletes getting what they deserve, or is it just the market sign of the times? You know what I mean? So, just kind of want to get, you know, Errol, Rodney, myself, all our perspectives, just in terms of what we think is kind of really going on in the NBA. You know what I mean? What are you saying?
You know what? I think the landscape's definitely changed. There's been a marked difference in terms of the power conversion in the player, where before the team had the power over a player movement. There's been a marked difference, and that's changed the whole landscape of the league. And I think it's coincided with kind of like the push from Stern back in the early 80s, when he was talking about, you know, using the star to drive the league, using the star to market the NBA, and it became about that, you understand? And they pushed the stars' names on the back, the jerseys and whatnot. Let's utilize these players, and they created that superstar model, and they've used that to drive, and the popularity of the leagues, you know, has ascended ever since. And when you coincide that with, you know, the player movement, with free agency, you know, I think Oscar Robertson was the one to bargain for free agency on the players' union behalf, and it's completely changed the game, man. And you got so much mobility now. This off season, you know, highlighted it. I think this off season was a culmination of everything that's happened, and it's just like boom. I was waiting for this for a few years. I thought it happened last year, and it was minimal. I was disappointed. Then this year, and it started. I thought, oh, it's man. Then it's just been unbelievable.
Yeah,
playing was unbelievable, and it's and it highlights exactly what you're talking about, the power in the player.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I think the times have changed, so people could be more transparent in their actions. When they play the game, they are, and they're playing against their friends. They're doing everything else. They are competitors, but socially, they hang out together. Now, people say, you're talking about. I have to, you know, I remember hearing Bill Russell talk about when he used to play back in the day, and obviously times were different, and he would, you know, socialise with certain people. But him and the big fella, that was at LA, you know, would stay at each other's house and would hang out together.
Yep.
Yeah, after a season, you know, we talk about two of the biggest relationships in the 80s in the NBA. You know, Magic and Bird, sworn enemies on the court, but were close friends. Now, if they were in a social media time, their activities would be present within that. Now, because
close friends after a period of time, because a period of time they didn't like each other.
Yeah, but they played against each other. They knew of each other, and there was a competitiveness with them, which will happen. But with social media being there, it's allowed the limelight to be bigger. Now, these guys are making choices or making decisions in public and doing things. Yeah, you know, you're going to have 70s players vex about how much 80s players are making. 80s players vex how much amount 90s players are making. 90 players, you know, I remember KG was the player that was the highest ever paid thing. He broke the record. And now all of a sudden, you know, this year you've got this man doing it. There's money there. It's good that the players are getting the power. Sorry, Pete, one second. No. It's great that the players are getting the power. I just think they need to apply themselves a bit more and be a bit more hungry on the court. Yeah. They're getting their things now. They're not getting the share that, you know, you put all the work in and everything else.
Okay.
But they're getting more.
I think today's players are hungry, man. I think they, for the most part, work their asses off, man. I think they earn I don't want to say they earn their money. I mean, the money's ridiculous now, but the finances are set on what they're set, man. But I don't think you can discredit this generation for working hard. I think they work hard.
I don't think I'm not discrediting like that. I'm not saying that.
So my thing is, obviously money is power and power is money. But you've got things like where the players now are. You've got the president responding to Steph Curry about not going to the White House. You've got LeBron James, you know, one of the biggest kind of moguls in the game, you know, supporting Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? What is it about basketball players that has them that direct effect? When Kaepernick bowed down or whatever, he wasn't. Nobody responded to him. You know what I mean? He's feeling social, but one of them Steph Curry and those LeBron James.
You're talking about the ESPN magazine where they had the Sports Illustrated magazine where they had all the other characters they had locked up and they didn't have Kaepernick. There was that issue as well. But that's
my whole point is the NBA basketball players. You know, there's something about basketball players in particular that gives them this kind of elevation. You know what I mean? And now they've got more money to back up this elevation.
I think a big part of it is the
is
visibility. It's the marketing. They create these. They're like sporting superheroes, literally. You know what I mean? And with basketball, it's such. You can be so expressive, and it can shine through your game. And if you've got an engaging personality, you become larger than life. And it's so visible. And all like American football, you got their helmets on their heads and things like that. You know, baseball's less charismatic, it's less dynamic. You know what I mean? It's just such a dynamic sport. And I think it's coincided with a change within the political climate in society. Society since 9/11 and since the advent of social media and the internet, it's completely different, man. You got the ability to sell yourself. You got uninterrupted.
Yeah.
You got these guys that are having their own channels, their own shows, and they're able to just get all these people following. Look at us, and they've got access, and they're doing stuff every day, and you see them perform at the highest level on the planet within their craft. Yeah, it's a lot of power, man. If you coincide everything, man, it's because, you know, when you're talking about politically, people, you can't, with that platform, you can't be silent, man, because people look up to you so much. It's like, well, what do you think about this? Because if you're strong enough to fight against that person, then maybe I am too. You know what I mean? And it gives people hope, man. Sporting icons give people hope, man. So I think you can't just be saying, I'm just an athlete and not get involved, man. I'm not saying I'm not saying you have to, but the people that choose to, man, yeah, they're the ones. And it's not for everyone to take that platform. But,
and I agree.
But you know, Kaepernick, you know the relationship with, as you're saying, with LeBron and the Clintons and the issue with Curry and Trump, man, we live in strange times, man.
Strange times, but it's like you said, though. It's like what they said, man. It's very transparent. You know what I mean?
It's always transparent. You know, comments would have been said previously, but not heard or seen.
Not heard or seen, yeah.
You know, it's a different time. You know, we live in a different, you know, a different microwavable, you know, instant time.
Yeah.
So because we live in that instant time, it's something which is what it is. I don't like to hear a politician comment about a player that hasn't said or done anything. You know, it's been actually a role model. It's been, you know, led by example and done things. You know, it's squeaky clean environment. And I mean, to hear someone comment like that is deep.
Yeah, I mean, Trump is of a different character, to use him as an example. You know what I mean?
But that's enough of that. But go on, sorry.
No. I mean, it's deep though, because even on the flip side of it though, you know, as much power as his players have or whatever, they still live in the real world. I mean, LeBron James still had graffiti on his house or whatever, using the N-word. I think even after he made that post where he called the president a bum, Dan Gilbert supposedly got racist phone calls and whatever. People, you know what I mean? So there's people out there still perceive LeBron just as a black person, you know, when he's bigger than, you know, bigger than life.
The racial climate in the States right now, it's a serious situation, man. You know?
But
it's like, you see obviously the shooting that's happened this week. You know, there's an instability that's going on. You understand? The society is created by the mindset of the accumulation of the population. You understand? That dictates the energy that comes out. So when you've got shootings like happening, all the political tension, all the racist tension, the police, just the ludicrousy of police killings of innocent black people, that the outcry to get this change is seen as by some sections of society like stay in your place. Like, what are you talking about? It's seriously, and so it's projecting and everyone has to take responsibility, man. And obviously the NBA players got that visibility, man. And I support those people that are speaking up, man. And not.
I mean, I think the best thing,
subservient.
I mean, from our experience of playing basketball, basketball's one of those games, and I always think it allows you to progress, man. You know, it allows you to work within a team. It allows you to have experiences.
Sports give you that.
Sports give you that. You know what I mean? It opens your eyes to different things that maybe you've never seen. But it's all about progression. You know what I mean? And it's great to see. You know what I mean? Great. You know, some of our role models, great athletes, people working hard. You know, making their dreams come true and helping others and going back to their own communities and giving back. Man. So, you know, I'm all about it, man, and stuff like that. And hopefully, you know, times will kind of change and people won't, you know, don't get no jealous one's envy, you know what I mean? Or you can't be, you know, mad at the next man who's getting his. You know what I mean? Just got to try and work as hard and be cool and teach your kids, man, the right way.
I love that picture from the 60s where you got Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Oscar Robertson?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Muhammad Ali, Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, and Jim Brown. And how this is not something that's new. People were doing it through similar periods of political tension and racist tension and whatnot during the 60s. You understand? It's like you're almost reverting back to that time. You understand? Yeah, man. Sad times, man. Sad times, man. Gotta be optimistic.
Go
out there.
That's it.
Anyway, man.
Anyway, we give it to you all.
Take it easy, my friends. Appreciate you listening.
4 feet raw, man. Do your part, man.
Do your part. Share, subscribe. See you soon, man. Peace.